Oh my God, that is so flippin' cool. Apple just wrapped up their Far Out event where they announced new iPhones, new AirPods, new Apple Watch, and we're going to dig into it all, starting with the Apple Watch Series 8. Apple's building upon the success of the Series 7 by retaining the same design in the Series 8 while adding new sensors that are aimed at health, wellness, and safety that redefine the user experience. The Apple Watch Series 8 features a sizable always-on display capable of hitting 1,000 nits of peak brightness and is available in either a 41 or 45 millimeter design. That means that all of your existing bands, they're all going to work. Thankfully, I have so many bands. Now, the first new sensor allows you to track your body temperature over the course of a day, and if you are using cycle tracking, estimate when ovulation occurred. This means that the data point for temperature can be used in retrospective estimates, adding more insight into a woman's monthly cycle. Second is the addition of a new high G-force accelerometer and redesigned gyroscope, which have made it possible to detect car crashes with high degree of accuracy. This is going to apply when you are in a front-end collision or rear-end collision if you're being hit from the side or if your vehicle flips over. And Apple stated that they tested this with a number of different vehicle types. So there should be a high degree of confidence, I think, people should have that if they are in a vehicle crash, that their iPhone or their Apple Watch will call emergency services when that happens. Now, as a parent, I think this is relieves me a little bit thinking about when my child goes to drive in the future, that there is this level of security that I don't think I have today with my car, and it's just nice to have. So as a parent, let me know what you think about that down in the comments below. Now, you can get yourself a unique Apple Watch starting at $399 for the aluminum or $699 for the stainless steel, and there are countless finish options to customize your Apple Watch, including adding cellular connectivity, which adds an extra $100. There are several new software enhancements coming to watchOS 9, including sleep tracking, international SOS, and new watch faces, and I'm going to cover that in a future video. Now, moving on to the Apple Watch SE second generation, thankfully they got rid of the Apple Watch Series 3 because that was so long in the tooth. The Apple Watch SE is available in Silver, Starlight, and Midnight. It has workout and activity tracking. It's 20% faster in terms of processing as the Apple Watch and starts at $249 for GPS or $299 for GPS plus cellular. Now, if you are a parent thinking about getting your child an Apple Watch, as someone who is a parent of a small child, I think this is actually kind of a creative way for Apple to push the Apple Watch for a family member by lowering the price of the cellular connectivity, which you would want to maybe get your child that, just so you know where they are for that peace of mind. Now, the new entry to the field is the Apple Watch Ultra, coming in at $799, and it's available only in GPS plus cellular. The Apple Watch Ultra is Apple's take on the Garmin and Polar watches of the world, geared towards the adventurers and the athletes. Now, spoiler alert, I ordered the Ultra, but I am neither of those things. The Ultra has a 49mm sapphire crystal display that is recessed into the all-titanium housing on the new watch. The display itself doubles the brightness, coming in at 2,000 nits of brightness, and very slickly, you can go into night mode, or you can enable night mode on the Apple Watch just by scrolling the crown of the Apple Watch forward, and it then goes into night mode. It looked really cool the way that they did it. It adds a high contrast orange action button for quick actions like starting a workout or marking a segment complete, and the Apple Watch Ultra adds a second speaker to the casing, making it 40% louder than the Apple Watch Series 8, and adds an 86 decibel siren, which can be heard from 600 feet away. I guess if you're like in an emergency situation and you're stranded, you want someone to find out where you're at, this is exactly what you want to go ahead and turn on. That, and there's a 3 mic array with beamforming technologies, which allows you to be heard very clearly while you're scaling the side of a mountain and you want to take a call on your Apple Watch. Now, it is certified for IP6X dust resistant, as well as MIL certified 810H, as well as being tested for dive ready up to 130 feet. Very interestingly, it does add a water temperature sensor and a depth gauge for those of you who want to use it while you're scuba diving or free diving. But for me, the only thing I'm going to be diving into is a bowl of salsa. In terms of battery life, the Ultra can deliver 36 hours of battery life in between charges, or up to 60 hours of battery life with the not yet released low power mode. There are a few new watch faces that are available for the Ultra that take advantage of the 49mm display, including a wayfinder option that basically marks places where you've been walking along a path, so in case you get lost, you can retrace your steps. There are 3 new bands available, each which are geared towards a different use case, either being swimming, diving, running, or adventuring. For the athletes out there, the new Apple Watch Ultra combines L1 plus L5 GPS positioning, which should translate to better metrics and calculations when running in dense urban environments where surrounding buildings prevent or limit GPS accuracy. Now, I am surely no runner. I know, you're surprised. But my wife is an avid marathoner, so I'm going to give her this watch to test and see what she thinks about the positioning. If you are interested in learning about her perspective as someone who runs quite frequently, runs long distances as well, make sure you're subscribed because that video is going to come out after the watch is released next week. Next up are updates to the Airpods 2. Now, in terms of design, Apple's taking a if it's not broke, don't fix it approach to the design, because the Airpods 2 look almost identical to the Airpods 1 in that design aspect. The salient feature here, in my opinion, is that the H2 chipset, which is used to run the AirPods Pro 2, is so powerful that is giving Apple the ability to solve new use cases, and we're going to see that here in just a moment. Namely, the H2 allows for high bandwidth audio streaming thanks to the addition of Bluetooth 5.3, which can deliver songs at a higher fidelity while consuming less power. That is in addition to adaptive noise control, which can be activated when there's a significant change in background noise levels, which to me, this is super cool stuff that they're doing here. Speaking of power, AirPods 2 are quoted delivering 6 hours of audio streaming per charge, and the charging case itself can be used for 30 hours of listening or 24 hours of talk time. Now that is 6 hours additional of usage per charge that you get on your AirPod case. The AirPods Pro 2 have a new driver, which should improve the listening experience. In addition to, you can use the true depth camera on your iPhone to take an image of your ears to improve the listening experience for spatial audio, which is actually really cool. There are 4 different ear tips going to be included inside the box with the addition of a new extra small ear tip. And in terms of control, they added the ability to adjust volume using swipe up or swipe down gestures on the stems of the AirPod Pro, which we knew we wanted that from day one. The charging case receives several notable upgrades, including a U1 chip so that the charging case can be found via Find My. It will also play an audible alert when lost using the integrated speaker at the bottom of the case, an anchor point so you can tether the case using a strap, the ability to charge your AirPods Pro 2 charging case using an Apple Watch charger, and the ability to customize your AirPods Pro 2 case when it's being manufactured with your own Memoji, which is, I'm looking forward to that one. Now it's available for pre-order this Friday the 9th, and it comes out on Friday the 16th, priced at $249. And I think this is really a no-brainer for a lot of the people that are out there who bought their AirPods Pro in November 2019, like I did, which mine, the battery life is just completely gone. It's no longer even really usable, which I still do use mine every night to go to sleep. I wear my AirPods when I sleep. Now it's time to say goodbye to the iPhone 13 mini, as Apple's 86 the smallest iPhone, because it's nowhere to be found in today's keynote. Namely, Apple's rejuvenated the Plus moniker with the addition of the iPhone 14 and 14 Plus this year. The 6.1 and 6.7 inch devices are priced at $699 and $799 respectively, and are probably the first choice for many of the people here that are watching this video because it hits all the points. You have a durable device with a ceramic shield. It has a number of fun different colors. You have improved cameras, a large, super crisp OLED display that's both highly color accurate and very bright. It has improved Face ID that works in both landscape or portrait mode. Several different storage options starting at 128, 256, and 512. Now, in a very strange move, Apple handed down the A15 chip that was used in last year's Pro models to this year's iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus. While that might sound like a terrible idea on the surface, unwinding that decision allows Apple to bring all the notable features that were previously hardware locked to the iPhone 13 Pro last year to this year's iPhone 14. Namely, you are getting all the benefits of battery optimization, performance enhancements, and a larger screen in a more cost-effective solution. So Apple's making the most significant strides in camera performance and capabilities this year in the iPhone, including video stabilization that uses the image sensor, allowing you to retain maximum image quality at 2.8K, a large 12 megapixel camera with OIS at 1.5 aperture, that's 49% faster in low light photography with night mode that's 2 times faster, in addition to an upgraded 12 megapixel true depth camera with a f1.9 aperture that includes autofocus and a 32% improvement in low light photography, as well as the ability to record video in Dolby Vision up to 4K 60. Here in the US, all iPhone 14 models will be sold without a SIM or SIM tray, meaning that Apple's one step closer to selling a fully sealed device. You know, the one that everyone's talking about where it's going to have nothing on there. We have to charge it wirelessly. That's way in the future, but I digress. Now, I was recently in Europe. I was able to activate eSIM. I don't know if eSIM's available kind of widely there, but let me know if you guys are, wherever you're at in the world watching this, is eSIM available with your carrier? Comment down below. In terms of sensors, both the iPhone 14 and the 14 Pro devices can detect crashes like the Apple Watch Series 8 by using a high dynamic range gyroscope and a new dual-core accelerometer. Along those same lines, all iPhone 14 devices sold will have the ability to communicate with low orbit satellites to relay the need for emergency services. Now, this is a service that Apple's including free for 2 years, and Apple implied that the service would no longer be free. I wouldn't be surprised if Apple rolls this into one of the tiers of the Apple One subscription service that it offers, but only time will tell. Let me know down in the comments below how much you'd be willing to pay for this type of service. I don't know, not all of us are going to wander off the beaten path, so it's obviously not for everybody, but I think maybe $25 a year in terms of service, just for kind of that peace of mind. Now, regarding pre-orders, the iPhone 14 and 14 Plus go on sale this Friday, September 9th, with the iPhone 14 being available on September 16th, and the iPhone 14 Plus coming available on Friday, October 7th. Moving on to the iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max, the Pro models are available in 4 colors, with space black and deep purple being the new colors this year, and silver and gold being carried forward from last year. Now, I don't know about you, but I am all on Team Purple this year. What about you? Keeping with last year's tradition, the iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max feature 6.1 and 6.7 inch OLED display respectively, but this year Apple is fully embracing Face ID with a new feature exclusive to the Pro devices. Apple designed a new TrueDepth camera system which reduced the overall component footprint by 30%. The smaller footprint leads to what I think is probably one of the most, if not the most interesting ways to interact with the device, and that is the dynamic island. Gone is the notch for a pill-shaped cutout that fluently expands to show relevant UI information in a completely new way. It can display notifications, background processes like music, timers, and so on, as well as allowing for interactivity. No joke, I was watching the keynote thinking to myself, oh my God, that is so flippin' cool. Now, fawning aside, the display on the Pro models can hit 1600 nits of brightness for HDR content, which, according to Apple, mirror the brightness level for the Pro Display XDR. Additionally, the display can hit 2000 nits of peak brightness for outdoor conditions. Now, I would take that with a grain of salt because obviously there are going to be certain constraints like thermal throttling, battery, where the device is going to ramp down that display after extended periods of time, which we're going to know that once we get the device in our hands next week. Now, to contrast the peak brightness, the Pro models have an always-on display for the lock screen notifications and other new features coming in iOS 16. And again, that is going to be covered in a future video, so if you want to see that, make sure you are subscribed. There's an all-new A16 processor built on the 4nm fabrication process that contains 2 high-performance cores, 4 high-efficiency cores, and 5 GPU cores to make sure that everything runs buttery smooth. As the rumor suspected, there is an all-new 48-megapixel image sensor that's binned down to 12 megapixels. For the sake of simplicity, pixels are pared down, making each group of 4 pixels into a quad pixel, which, practically speaking, should represent improved low-light performance, detail, and contrast without sacrificing focus or overall sharpening. Now, if you're a parent of a toddler or a young child like I am, being able to take a photo in a moment's notice, like at that right second, because the kids never stay still for 1 second, nor are they always smiling, is paramount. So these features should be right up your alley, which should perform better with faster shutter speed. That said, it still seems that we are limited to transferring those image files and those video files off the device at what is USB 2.0 speeds. It's extremely painful. If you capture ProRes 4K images or 4K video files and try and get them off, it's severely limited. I hope that Apple did something with the interface on the iPhone where it supports faster speeds. Maybe it's USB 3.0, 3.1, 3.2. I don't know. I just hope it's faster. But we're not going to know this until next week when we get the device in stock. Now, with everything else that Apple announced today, the iPhone 14 Pro and the iPhone 14 Pro Max will be available in stores next week, Friday, the 16th of September, and pre-orders start this Friday, September 9th, at 5 a.m. Pacific, priced at $9.99 and $10.99 respectively. Guys, thanks very much for watching my video recapping the iPhone 14 event. Let me know down in the comments below if you are upgrading your device this year, whether it's the iPhone, the Apple Watch, or even your AirPods. If you are upgrading, what device are you upgrading from? And if you're not upgrading, what's holding you back from upgrading? I am Mike, and I'll talk to you in the next one.